love that won't fade no time soon. Mama got it all paid, this is true. And you always did it on your own. And because of you I have grown. Because of you.
This is Mama Bear Shares with your host Emma, tuning in from yourhomeliferadio.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first of what hopefully is many shows on Sundays 3 to 4 on, again, yourhomeliferadio.com. Today I have a guest with me. Her name is Kim. She has a website, Crunchy
Hello.
Kim. That's Kim. We're going to be talking to her later. She has her very fun website of delicious treats, and she is a mother of a 2-year-old.
She's almost 2. She turns 2 after Christmas.
After Christmas. So we're going to be asking her questions. A little bit about me. I am Emma, your host, obviously. I just recently moved to the Florida area from Missouri, and I am pregnant. Woo!
Yay!
I am 21 weeks due, according to my phone app, in about 133 days. So I will be counting down and sharing all that with you guys. But my hope with this is to just shed some light on pregnancy, all things pregnancy, and just to do lots of things with that. I mean, I'm sure people have questions. I have questions. I'm a first-time mother. I was in school in Kansas City, Missouri, and then I took a break from that because it just wasn't for me at the time. So while I was trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, I found out I was with child, and that was excellent news. But unfortunately, baby daddy wanted nothing to do with it, so I called up dear old mom, and I was like, hey, mom, let's become friends again. So she was gracious enough to let me move down here to Florida with her, so I am starting, I don't really call it a new chapter in my life. It's really a new series. There was already chapters previously, so this is a whole new series. But you can find us, like us on Facebook if you're listening, or, I mean, obviously you're listening. I hope you're listening, but you can like us on Facebook. And coming soon, we'll be able, Twitter is going to be up, and I'll be posting fun tweets because everybody loves tweets from peeps, and we'll be doing that. But let's talk to Kim a little bit.
Sweet.
Hi, Kim. Tell us a little bit about your crunchykim.com.
So crunchykim.com is basically just a website full of food. It's mostly vegan. We have a couple of gluten-free recipes. I say we, but really it's just me. I just like to cook, and I started out just posting recipes on a blog because I wanted to keep like a digital diary of all of my recipes, all my favorites. So I just turned that into a website, and I started sharing it with people. I have a couple likes on Facebook, maybe like 5. I'm getting
5 likes. Hopefully we'll get you some more. No, I cruised your site, and that just, I mean, for one, I'm pregnant, but for 2, they just were mouth-watering. I was looking at photos, and I'm just like, that looks so good.
It's definitely good. I definitely have a sweet tooth. Oh, there's the site right there.
Yay. Crunchykim.com. It's a beautiful site, too. It's really homey and fun.
Thank you. I did my best. Had a lot of help from my husband.
Yay, go husband. So you have had a child, thus you have been pregnant.
Yes, I have quite a long time ago. I don't really remember being pregnant, but I miss it. I miss being pregnant a lot.
Oh, well, that's
just like feeling the baby move, you know, those are like...
See, that's interesting people say that because I'm at 21 weeks right now, and they say that I should be feeling, but I don't know if I felt, and that's not, I just thought it was gas or something, or I haven't felt an initial kick or a hi-ya. So
I think it took a while. Maybe like 24 weeks was when I first felt a real kick. But yeah, the flutters are like kind of hard to decipher between gas and baby.
I was joking with my friends because it hasn't really hit me that there's a person inside of me yet, really. So, and like when I felt my friend when she was pregnant, I felt it kick. It like freaked me out. So I think when I feel it kick for the first time, I'm going to be like running around like,
God.
Get it out. Like, what is this? Like, but no, not really. Maybe though. I think it'll freak me out a little bit with sci-fi.
How about the ultrasound?
That was, we did the ultrasound. I've had a couple, and it was just, I cried the first time. I teared up because I was just like, that really is. Because at first I was like, maybe I'm not pregnant. Maybe I'm just getting fat. Like, I just think I'm pregnant. You know, all the tests are positive. And then to actually see it on there, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's interesting.
How many weeks along were you when you had your first?
Had my first, I think I was 16. I think I was 16 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you're pretty far along.
Because I wanted to wait till I moved down here. I found out I was
Mhm.
pregnant in Kansas City, and then I knew I was moving down here, and I didn't want to deal with doctors yet up there.
Mhm.
So I just waited till I came down here, and so I was pretty far along whenever we first did all that fun stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But every time I've gone to get an ultrasound, they comment on how active it is. And
Oh, really?
So yeah, and like she can never stand still. It's a girl, by the way. I found out. So yay for girls and mini me. It should be fun. But they just kept commenting on how active, and they couldn't ever get like a exact photo. And then the nurse, there was this one. She's like, "Oh, that's a great photo," and it has like her arms above her head, and you can see the stomach. And I guess it's a cute photo. I don't really know what I'm looking at because to me it just looks like an alien. Like she's like, "Those are the eyes and the nose," and I'm like, "Oh." Okay. So I have it printed off, and it's going to go in a little scrapbook. I'm like, this is your first great photo here. This is when it all started.
She's already photogenic. Nice.
But it was fun. It was interesting to see it moving, and then like at one point the foot was right in the way where you could see like the foot perfectly, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
That's so cute.
This baby thing's kind of fun.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. No, and I went into Babies R Us yesterday because I had nothing to do. So I was like, I'm going to go do something. And I just about died, like wanting to do, like have everything. And then they had a sale, and I was like, well, I need to buy all these things right now. And I got like tights and this little onesie and these shoes.
So
the shoes and tights she won't be able to wear for quite a while, but they were on sale and I had to have them. And so I was really excited. I'm like, oh, it's like a little doll. Like
Babies R Us will get you because they have some cute stuff.
My favorite stuff that I found so far is at Carter's. Anything by Carter's.
Oh my gosh, Carter's is to die for. It's ridiculous. Got to keep me out of that store.
So I'm excited to register for that. Speaking of registering, if you could, I know you said you can't remember much of being pregnant, but if you could give some advice on things like registering, like things that you thought you might need that you didn't end up using, or things that you really ended up using a lot, like just what to register for.
It's so funny because when I was pregnant, I thought I needed all the like gadgets and gizmos and stuff. And once I had my baby, I was like, wow, I really like, the big swings that cost loads of money. Like we barely used ours. And like, the baby wants to be held. So you swing them in your arms, 90% of the time. And just all the big ticket items I thought we needed, we didn't really end up using all that often. And I think one of the most things that I do use is my boppy pillow, which isn't that expensive, maybe like $30 or $40. I don't remember. But I actually got it as a gift. But I use that, like to this day, I still use it because I still nurse my daughter. And I seriously don't know what I've done without it when she was a newborn, because I literally remember nursing, I felt like all day long. So the pillow really just saved me.
Oh, yeah. I have
that's one thing.
One of my friends, because she just had a daughter and she's about a little under a year and a half, I think. So she's giving me like, I got some things from her already. But I told her like a week too late because she had a little girl and she just had a garage sale and she got rid of, she wanted to keep them, but she had nobody to give them to. And then I told her finally a week later, she's like, I wish you would have told me sooner. I had all these clothes because like she likes Carter's too. And like, so all the clothes that I've been picking out, I'm like, I could have had all those already.
Oh, bummer.
But she did have one of those pillows. And so she already gave it to me and I sleep with it already between my legs.
Oh,
like
sweet.
that's my little friend like holding me at night. Interesting that you brought up the breastfeeding because obviously I want to breastfeed.
Good.
And so
Good
I need there's a couple in Clearwater at the libraries they do on Tuesdays. I believe at 6:00 they have events or classes that you can go to help with that. And I haven't been able to get to one yet, but I will be. I have a little bit of time still. But it's interesting because I was looking online and just like different news and things. In Europe, it's traditional. Like some mothers breastfeed up to like 4 or 6 years.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just over here that's kind of just unheard of.
It's like socially unacceptable to breastfeed, especially in public. There's like a huge debacle about it. But I think it's ridiculous.
No, I agree. Yeah. I don't know if you guys watch on ABC. Katie at 3 is when it comes on. They had these two ladies on though that were breastfeeding in public. And one lady was at an Applebee's. And the store manager kicked her out. Was like, you can't do this. She's like, actually, my rights. You need like because actually, not necessarily in the Constitution, but we do have laws that say women can breastfeed in public. In public, right. And so then Applebee's like came out with this like formal apology and was like, come back anytime with your baby and boobs, and you can do that.
Baby and
I'm
boobs.
sure it was a little bit more.
No, that
sophisticated
happens.
than
It
that.
happens all the time. People get kicked out of stores. And then usually if that happens, they'll have like a nurse in where they get a whole bunch of mommies in the area and they all just have a sit-in and nurse, basically.
Which sounds like fun. I think I just want to stage those after I have my daughter. Be like, let's all go nurse our kids.
There's actually a big latch on. It happens once a year, and they try to break the record every year for the most mommies nursing at a single time. And you have to have the baby latch on for like a minute. So it's kind of hard if, you're nursing on demand and sometimes the baby doesn't want to nurse. But yeah, so that happens once a year and it's a whole bunch of moms come together.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Do you know
cool.
when at all that happens?
I don't remember exactly the month. Maybe I think it's March because I think that's like breastfeeding month, or I think it's a month that starts in May. Not exactly sure. But yeah, it's once a year. Happens every year.
That's awesome. I'll just start ours. Another thing, was it hard for you to start breastfeeding or anything?
I wasn't hard for me, but I've heard a lot of stories, and I've heard a lot of stories about how it hurts. It doesn't hurt. It's uncomfortable because it's something you're not used to. But I have heard a lot of stories where the nipple starts to chap and bleed and baby won't latch on right. And, there's a whole slew of problems that can happen. But usually if you have a lactation consultant that you can call or have someone come over, they can help you with that a lot. And there's like 1,000 things that you could talk about breastfeeding. You can probably have a whole show on breastfeeding alone because there's so many things to talk about.
I'll have to write that down.
But there is a lot. It is hard for some people to start breastfeeding. For me personally, I didn't have any issues, which I think is why we're still nursing now and my baby's 21 months.
That's healthy though. It's the natural food source for your children.
Yes,
like they say that children are smarter now if they're breastfeeding. Like my father gave the joke to somebody that he was angry about with a work situation, and he told him, he was like, "You must have not been breastfed enough as a child or something." And I was like, "Dad, you're funny."
That is funny. I've seen studies like that, but I never truly believe them. I never know, you never know what to believe on the internet. But yeah, I think my daughter is pretty genius.
We all probably think our own kind of.
Exactly.
But she is. I met her. She was naming off cards, and I was like, "Oh, you know what these are? That's exciting."
She's pretty smart, and she's beautiful. The most beautiful baby. Everyone thinks they have the most beautiful and the most smart. It's true.
I hope I was not joking around. This is horrible. I will love my child no matter what it looks like. But I was like, I hope I don't have an ugly off. I was like, but I can't have ugly offspring because look at me.
Exactly.
But it's funny because my friend, her name's Tierney, who had her child. Whenever she was first born, she was kind of, I'm like, newborns are ugly. Like they I'm sorry, like they look awkward. Like they just look like old.
They
tiny,
are awkward.
Little,
they're wrinkly.
It's like you have to wait for their looks to come in. Like, oh, it's horrible, or it's funny and awesome, and of course you're gonna think they're beautiful.
Right.
Another question for you: what myths have you heard, and if any ever true? Like a myth that I heard was if you crave cereal, you're gonna be having a boy.
Oh, yeah, like the old wives' tales and stuff.
Because I was craving cereal. Like that's the only thing I could eat after finally morning sickness went away.
Really?
And now I'm having a girl.
Oh, yeah, boy. You know what? My friend, we were pregnant at the same time, and she said the only thing she could eat during the first trimester was cereal, and she ended up having a boy. So maybe sometimes it's true. Who knows with those old wives' tales. But with me, like craving-wise, I craved a lot of fruits and stuff.
See, that's what orange juice, high pulp. It has to be simply orange, high pulp orange juice. And I like literally, I'll go through a bottle every 2 days.
Nice.
Like I drink that stuff down all the time. It's
what
so
about
delicious.
Pickles and ice cream? Have you had those
No,
cravings yet?
pickles and ice cream, yes, together. No. But I really haven't had weird combinations. I can eat a lot of weird things, like I can literally eat pickles and then after that eat the ice cream. So, but they're not together. I
don't know if anyone actually eats them together. That might be a myth.
Well, then I hear myths of like women craving like dirt and grass,
rocks,
or like hair. I'm like, that's just.
It's actually like a disorder. I think it's called pica, or I don't know how to pronounce that. I think that's how you pronounce it. But your body's craving a certain nutrient, so you instinctively crave like dirt or something.
I've craved meat before, and I think that was just my body was like, you need iron or protein or something. Iron. But yeah, what is the best advice you were given while you were pregnant? Or just in general? I
think some of the best advice I was given, was right after I had the baby. And, two things. I can never pick one favorite ever. One of them is not to live by the clock. Like they say breastfeed every 2 hours and make sure they nap every hour and a half. And like it stressed me out so much trying to do everything by schedule. And I live by a pretty strict schedule as it is. But when my baby wouldn't do something and I'd be like, you're supposed to be sleeping. What's going on? Oh my gosh, the world's going to end. But so if you don't live by the clock, just baby's going to tell you when she's tired and hungry. Just let her tell you. So that's a big advice, stress reliever. And another one was, it kind of piggybacks on that. And it's, let everything go. Like, don't worry about the dishes. Don't worry about laundry. Just like live in the moment and just take in your child, like just every moment, because seriously, it goes by so fast. And everyone is probably going to tell you, oh my gosh, it goes by so fast. And seriously, it does. Like, it's so crazy. And like the milestones, they come and go so fast. Like I can't even remember when she was crawling. It's like ridiculous. Yeah.
How big are you into photos? Like,
oh my gosh.
Huge. Into the photos.
Yeah,
it's funny because I was a firstborn in my family, and like I have the most photos, which I kind of like to brag about to my younger brothers. But we did the ones where like, because also that was back in we didn't really like, internet wasn't huge or anything, so we did the whole where you go to Walmart and you get your photos taken and you're sitting in a bucket, and then like the next time you're like smiling with a duck or something. So have you done actual like portraits like that, or are you just doing like snapshots and stuff?
We actually at Babies R Us, we were there one day and someone was like, hey, why don't you come get a photo? And we were like, okay. And we ended up buying like some kind of family pass where every time you go, you can get a new photo. Oh, wow. So we ended up starting to go there just to get photos. And yeah, so we have literally hundreds of like portrait studio photos of my daughter. And I have honestly millions of her on my own camera, like stored on my computer. So yeah, and a lot of people are like, your second child, like you're never going to be able to take as many pictures of your second child. It's going to be impossible. But we'll see. We'll see if I have a...
That's what happened with my parents. Like my brothers came along. They're like, we've already done this with the first one. Like
your poor brother.
Poor Gabriel, the third one. Like he did, like there's hardly any really of him. That's awesome. Which are funny. And then it turns into all three of us in the photos. So, which is fun. What was the best part of pregnancy, if you can remember?
The best part. Let's see, the heartburn, swollen ankles, all that fun stuff.
You mean you didn't love that stuff?
Now, I really just think feeling the baby move. And some people like love the hiccups. I found them annoying, like atrociously annoying. I don't know if it's because my baby had hiccuped all day long.
Like your baby having hiccups or you having hiccups?
The baby having hiccups. Like during the third trimester, they hiccup all the time because they have to practice their breathing. And it's, and I went overdue, like 2 weeks overdue. And that was dreadful. Like totally awful. I was like, get this baby out of me. But you know what? It was nice to have like extra time, just me and my husband too.
Of course. I was watching a Friends episode, and Rachel was when Rachel was giving birth to Emma, her baby, but she just wanted it out, and it was just a really funny episode. I was like, oh, dear. I'm sure when that time comes, though, you're just ready for it to be. Yeah, like, you've been in here long enough. Let's just...
I think when you come to, like, 8 months, you're, like, so excited and so ready to meet your baby. And a lot of first-time moms go overdue anyway, so it's like, because the due date is really just, like, an estimated date. It's not... And a lot of people think, I'm going to... that day or never.
Now with pregnancy, did you have a natural birth or did you have a C-section?
I had a natural birth. How do you think you're gonna?
I haven't decided. With some medical issues, then I think I might be pushed more towards C-section. And then on my mind, I was like, just, drug me up, cut it out. That's fine, whatever. But just because honestly, I mean, I am a new mother, like the thought of just passing a child between my legs really scares the bejesus out of me.
I think it scares everyone, but I think like that's the natural way to do, and people
women
do
for
it
years
all
obviously have been having children this way.
When I first found out I was pregnant, we lived in Europe, and they don't even give epidurals over there. Like where we lived, we didn't even it wasn't even an option. We lived on a military base, so for us it was an option, but if the base was full, I would have to go off base. So everyone was like, they don't give epidurals and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, it's not a big deal. Like, people have babies all the time. So, like, our bodies are used to it. And I think natural was really the way to go.
I had a crazy science teacher in high school. She gave birth and like the next day, literally, she was back at work. Like she's like that upbeat lady that kind of annoys you to a certain extent with all the things, but she's an awesome person. But yeah, literally the next day she was like back at work.
I had a baby yesterday.
She's like, woo, it's on my hip. Let's do this.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
You are a crazy woman. Like I'm gonna like try to I want my bed rest. Like all that fun stuff.
That is crazy. The day after.
Diapers. Let's talk about diapers.
Diapers.
Yay. So, because my friend Tierney, who I revert back to, she did the cloth diapers. And so what is your take on diapers? And then, diapers are expensive.
They are. And I don't even know how much they are. We did cloth as well. So, and we have like a hugely enormous stash of cloth because it happened with me and it happens with a lot of my friends. Like when you start doing cloth diapers, you just get so hooked and addicted. You just buy all of them that you see. You buy way too many. And like with us, there's a stigma behind cloth diapers that your house is going to smell and it's so gross and you have to like clean them. And but seriously, it's not bad at all. It's like an extra load of laundry and it saved us a lot of money. And we did cloth wipes too. There's a couple of my friends have had problems with like wipes, the baby wipes, causing rashes like on the baby's bottom. So I think because there's so many like chemicals in the baby wipes and there's chemicals in the diapers too. It's no fun for either party. But, some people do disposable because it's convenient and that's the way it is.
Well, I've been thinking, maybe of doing a little bit of both. Like when I go out, maybe doing regular diapers and then more at home and like with family and stuff doing cloth because it will be a money saver. Like, I've just already been eyeballing things and like try to buy a little bit here and there and just like, oh my God, like $30 for like 15 diapers or something. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, really?
Like,
See, I don't even know the prices. Yeah, it is crazy.
It is and then there's so many different brands. I'm like, oh, consumers market these days. How they
baby goes through a lot of diapers too.
And especially at the beginning, that's what I hear. Like that. Is that a false statement at the beginning?
Oh my gosh.
The most?
Probably like, I don't even know how many a day, at least 12. I kept count for a year. For the first year, I counted every time I would wash my diapers. So I went through, I think it was a year, like 2,000 diapers in a year.
Oh my goodness.
About a little over. And so I don't know what that cuts down to, but in the first, I'd say 2 to 3 months is like they go through a crazy, like you are always changing a diaper. Yeah, for sure.
We'll have the question of the day if you're listening. How do you feel about diapers, cloth, and other diapers? You can call in now at 727-493-2055 and tell us your opinions on cloth diapers or other diapers and their favorite brand, Pampers, or I'm sure there's other brands, but Pampers is the only thing I can think of right now. They're the most commercials, so obviously they're doing the best.
Nice.
What was your best friend during pregnancy, if you can remember, whether that was like a pillow or that was like a certain food or it was like a TV show that just got you through your pregnancy?
Okay, so you know what? During my 3rd trimester, I wanted to eat Hooters like all the time. I don't know why. Maybe it was the acid in the vinegar and the hot sauce or something. But I was just like, I just want Hooters. I just want to eat the wings. Another best friend, all the pregnancy shows on TV. They're so addictive when you're pregnant because you like want to soak in all the information you can, even from the crap shows that they have on TV about pregnancy. But other best friends, let's see. Pillows. I wasn't huge on pillows. I always saw those commercials with like
the giant body,
like pregnancy pillow. It just looked so ridiculous. But I'm sure it was quite comfortable. It had to have been. It's like sleeping on a cloud. But I never had problems sleeping. Heartburn was pretty crappy with me. My daughter had a lot of hair, so that's another myth. If you have a lot of heartburn, you get a baby with a lot of hair. So I ate Tums a lot, which they're not bad for you. It's like calcium, so no big deal. But yeah, Tums. What else? Pregnancy. Man. Ooh, you know what? Like ice baths for your feet. Yeah, those were good. Toward the end. Oh, and you know what? I found toward the end when I ate Chinese food specifically, but when I had like salty foods, my ankles would swell like crap. Oh, and you know what? In the beginning, you're probably past the stage. Do you take prenatal vitamins?
Yes.
So do they smell bad?
Yes.
The ones that I had smelled so
Everything smells bad to me now that way. I'm like, oh, get it away. Can't handle that smell.
I used to hold a pack of gum up to my nose and like smell the gum and then take the vitamin, because I would seriously like want to vomit every time I took my prenatal vitamin. It's terrible.
My first 2 months, I literally wanted to die. I lost so much weight.
Really?
I was so sick. Like, I couldn't keep anything down but
my
water.
gosh.
I mean, couldn't keep water down, but I couldn't eat. Like, it was just miserable. I was like, I don't know if I want to be pregnant again after this.
Yeah.
But I have one of she's like a second mother to me, Dorita. She said she has 3 boys. They're all the youngest one's in college right now. So they're all graduated college. But her first pregnancy, she didn't have any morning sickness, and she was just like, she wanted to feel like, what it was like. So then she like kind of prayed for it, and I was like, you should not have done that, because then her next 2, I remember her saying that she like was pulling over like every parking lot while driving, like throwing up, and I was like, well, you asked for it, like you wanted a taste of it. But yeah, so it was like, and anymore now, if I feel like I'm getting sick, if I eat something, then I feel better. Which is nice.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. Like sometimes your body, you feel nauseous when you're hungry. Like, and they say to eat small things during the day, like all day long, snack.
Always snacking.
And something else about morning sickness. I was just gonna say, but I lost it. Maybe it'll come back to me
Forgetfulness is another thing.
Sign of pregnancy.
Yes, it is. And I like to pride myself in my memory. And lately, things just escape me, and I'll forget stuff. And I'm like, really? Like, I feel so retarded. And I'm just like, that's okay. Anyway, moving on. What else can we talk about? I can ask you baby weight, because you look like you're in phenomenal shape.
Shape. That's what I was gonna say. Ooh, morning sickness. If you work out, I've heard that like deters morning sickness. But it's kind of like a catch-22, because when you have morning sickness, if you already haven't been working out, like that's the last thing you want to do is go work out when you're feeling nauseous. My husband used to make me walk around our block when we lived in Europe, and I'd just be like, oh, take me home.
Working out now, obviously you can't do vigorous activity working out, so what do you suggest if you were working out, like just walking or what?
Well, I used to jog, but I worked out before I was pregnant. I think if like just low impact kind of things, they have certain workouts for pregnant people too.
That's what I've heard. Is if you like your body, like before pregnancy, if you've been working out and like running and stuff, then you're fine usually to keep doing that stuff during. But if you're not, like I used to work out back in the day a lot. I really did. And then I just took a year off kind of, and it was just so hard to get back into.
It is hard.
And like I missed running, and so I'm like, I could go run. I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't right now start like a mile sprint down the driveway.
Not a good idea.
But walking
down the driveway. Yeah.
Well, we live in a condominium, and so I can walk, and I try and walk the dog in the morning and at night. Well, not as much as I probably should, honestly, just because I get tired. Like I get so I'm a big fan of naps right now. Nice. Like naps are my best friend, and it's crazy on just the lack. Like I had mono before in high school, and it almost feels like that. Like I get up and I take a shower, and I'm like, okay, that was a lot of energy. Like, I'm gonna lay down now.
Yeah, baby takes up all your energy, all your nutrients.
Oh, that's awesome though. Advice to give. Do you have any advice that you think you can warn us with?
Pregnancy advice. I don't know. Man, I really want to be pregnant to like feel pregnant again. I miss that feeling. Advice though. Cherish the time you have like alone, because you're never gonna be alone. Ever. I feel like I'm never alone, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, so that's a choice. But cherish, like with your mom, you said you're trying to get to be her best friend again. Do that before baby comes.
Well, it's interesting because living with her, but she's my parents are divorced, but her husband, so she's remarried, lives in Indiana and works for the airline, and then he works in out of Chicago though. So then she gets to fly free, and so she actually flies to Indiana to spend time with him. So it's like I live on my own here, which is really nice because I mean I've been on my own for like 5 years since high school, and it was really sucking up a lot of pride to move back in with a parent, an adult. Because I mean, when you have 2 adults like that have been adults or obviously are adults, and then moving back into each other, like you both have set ideas of how, and then one's still trying to be the parent, and then you're like, Mom, I've done this. But so I mean, and so much I've been thinking like I want a job, like start saving money because I don't have a job yet down here. Hopefully that'll change soon. But then I finally started thinking, I was like, I should be cherishing this time, like maybe not that necessarily that I'm not doing anything, but, sitting like just, love on my child.
Just relaxing.
Yeah, just relaxing and then, breathing it all in. And then I'm like trying to feel. And then I'm like, oh, I just think that was gas.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Which is funny. But hopefully I'll be finding. Nobody wants to hire a pregnant person, though. Like, I have tried.
It's really hard. I have a friend on Facebook, and she had, I don't know if she lied, but she, didn't tell them that she was pregnant to get the job, because you're right, no one wants to, because they know you're going to leave,
No, yeah, you have to take. How much, I know you said you're stay-at-home mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom as well. But maternity leave, how long do you feel?
I think maternity leave is I think it depends on where you work. But it must be at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If not
I've
more.
heard from a month to 3 months, and I'm like,
oh, that'd be awesome if you got 3 months.
Right?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
The books I've read, one is sticking out in my mind, and it was 2 months. The woman had 2 months, but that seems like a long time. I mean, that would be awesome if you had a job and someone let you off for 2 months to hang out with your baby. Sweet.
You're like, I need that bonding time.
Yeah,
dude.
and that time is important too. I think it's really important.
I found a job, and I did the whole where I didn't, because I was like, Dad, what should I do? He's like, just don't tell him, because at the time, now I'm kind of showing to where you can kind of tell that I'm pregnant. But to me, I still feel like I kind of just look fat, but it's fine. Baby bump is definitely there. But so I didn't tell them, but it was at a veterinarian, and it was kennel tech. And I felt fully confident that I could do the job, but then I felt kind of guilty, and I was like, I need to tell them. And then I was too much, not that, and then everybody's like, oh, maybe you have a court, you can because people can't fire you for being pregnant. It's against the law to fire you for being pregnant. Right. But I was too much of a risk factor, because I would be walking the dogs or cleaning with chemicals and being around cats. Yeah. And so I was like, I understand. That's awesome. So I got 2 days of work in, but I was tired after those 2 days. So I was like, maybe I don't want a job. I don't want to be on my feet. My feet have already gotten a little I love heels. I love heels. I just love them. And some of my heels just aren't agreeing with me. And I'm like,
the things soon. You do for a baby.
And then boots, because it's fall. I'm from the Midwest, so fall's one of my favorite seasons, with the colors and everything. Here it's kind of a little hot, but I will still wear my boots. But then getting my feet, they're already kind of a little swollen. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh no.
I'm going to sit with them up all the time.
Just to wear your boots, just to squeeze them in.
Or maybe I'll design a new clothing line or
there
something.
There you go, for pregnant,
with little cutouts
pregnant
for
ankles.
There
you go.
Well, because I already had chubby feet, and so they already some sandals they don't fit perfectly. When you're standing up, they kind of slide over. So I was like, oh goodness, with this whole pregnancy thing, it's gonna be awesome.
I think my feet grew during pregnancy, at least a half size.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So none of my old shoes really fit me anymore. I still have them for some reason in my closet in high hopes. But yeah, my feet definitely grew during pregnancy. They didn't
shrink back down?
No, not afterward.
Oh my goodness.
Not like my belly.
I have a caller.
Oh.
I'm going to put them through. Hi, this is Mama Bear Shares.
Hi, I'd just like to answer the question of the day, please.
Oh, of course, of course. Give us your opinion on it.
Okay, well, aren't you going to ask me what the question is? What it is?
Of course. The question of the day that we had is your opinion on diapers, whether that be cloth diapers. We were talking about just the expense of diapers, and then if you should, people should do cloth diapers because it saves a lot more money, or your opinion, or maybe if you should do a little bit of both, and what your opinion on diapers are.
Well, I think cloth diapers are the best way to go. But when you're traveling, it's probably a good idea to keep some disposables handy. So,
I am dying over here. I'm sorry.
The majority of the time, I would say cloth diapers.
This is my mom.
Yay, Mom! So you have a child,
Hi, Mom. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Good. I said hi.
Hi. Okay, well, so I'm on my way home. Did you need anything else?
Do you have any pregnancy advice?
Pregnancy advice? No.
No? You don't have any advice to give?
Says don't do it.
Too late.
A little late for that one. Well, thank you for calling in. I've been thinking that for me, I'm going to do, I think, a little bit of both. When I go out and stuff, maybe do the regular diapers, but then try to do cloth diapers as much as I can at home and such like that.
Nice.
So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Cloth diapers at home, but if you're traveling, disposable, yeah.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Bye, Mom.
All right. You're welcome. Bye, sweetie.
Aww, your mom. Yay.
My mama.
First caller. Woo, woo. I'm going to write that in my diary later on.
Your diary.
Dear
That's
baby.
funny.
Well, I've thought about, and I don't know, like maybe like writing a journal, although whether because I'm 22 right now, so I thought maybe I can call it 22 and do, and like
that's
like a thing
so
to my daughter when
cute.
she's older. And so I don't know, maybe, and then I'm like, she probably won't. I mean, want
You know what?
something like
I would
that.
read it if my mom did something like that. I think it's like really cool. I started a blog when I was pregnant, and I started writing like all these things too. But I mean, I didn't continue with it, so my baby won't be reading it. Maybe I'll read it to her. I'd be like, listen, this is what I wrote. Isn't it so cool and insightful? No,
I'm
Mom.
so wise. Well, it's funny because my mom wrote a letter to me when I was younger. And then she was like, you can't open this. She said to like my wedding day. But in my mind, I had all these ideas. I was like, okay, when I open this letter, there's going to be like unknown fortune and gold. Like it's going to be a treasure map, or it's going to be like a trust fund, or it's just, I had all these crazy ideas. Well, finally she let me read it. And or I think I just said, Mom, I'm going to open this letter now. Like I've been dying. And it just was like, I love you. I'm staring at you and you're so cute. And I mean, it was cute and adorable, but I was just like, I had all these expectations.
No words of wisdom.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, thank you. I know you love me, but dang it.
I had to wait for that. All that.
But it kind of like, I like that idea though. So I was like, I might write or do something like that.
Yeah.
Every
I think
so
it's
often
sweet.
to have letters for him. Because already when I go out, because I've discovered Payway, and maybe in Kansas City we had a Payway. I don't know if you've ever heard of Payway.
I don't know
Okay,
what
it's an
Payway is.
off-brand of, have you heard of P.F. Chang's?
Yes.
Okay, it's P.F. Chang's, but like the fast food, cheaper, not as expensive version. Like you still order and then they bring it to you. But it is, oh my goodness, like I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Like I crave it almost every day. Like I don't crave weird things, but when I get in my mind set, like Payway, I'm like right now, I'm like, okay, I need to eat that later. That's all I need to happen. But when I get fortune cookies, I get 2 now. And so I've thought about maybe saving the ones that are for my baby. Because she had a good one once. It said people are like good things are being said about you. I was like,
oh, so
that's
sweet.
perfect. And then I had one that said a romantic encounter is soon. I was like, ooh, 2 for the price of 1 here, mister. Taking callers now. Just kidding.
Fortune cookies.
But I think that's a good idea. So I think I'm going to start a scrapbooking of, I mean, I have all this time on my hands too. So it'd be something cute. And if she doesn't like it, then homemade things seem to always be more sentimental. I had a friend that their family, like they were all big, like homemade, like soaps and like, for her 16th birthday, her mother made her like, kind of like a scrapbook thing, but just of like memories and like, you know, advice and like quotes and like photos. And it was just like it really just was something you could keep with you and like sentimental to hold on to, which is nice.
I've heard of some people doing this, and I've started to do it with my daughter. They just write memories of like when it happens, of like cute little things that they'll do during the day, just random things, but they're cute. And you want to remember them. So just keep them all together, like in a baby book or something like that. But keep it, you know, just random sheets of paper. And then have them read that, other than reading like just the generic stuff that's in the baby book. Like, how much did you weigh when you were 16 months old?
No, that's a great. I have a file on my computer that's funny things people say. So like anytime I'm down or sad, I read through this file. And so it's hilarious because we'll forget things. Like you say you're going to remember them. But one of my friends, he's almost 4, and it's a boy. His name's Grin. He is a fireball. Oh my goodness, he is hilarious. He one day was just like literally just running circles around the living room, like just in a circle. And I was just staring at him like you were demon possessed or something. But then he like leaves the room and he comes back in and he's in like his t-shirt and underwear. And he has like these toy guns stuffed in his underwear, like this guitar in his back. And he just comes in, he goes, "It's time to get serious." And then he just walks back out. Like, it was the funniest thing. Like I died laughing. Oh my goodness, it was so funny. So I was like, I think I'm going to start writing down just these funny things that people are saying, or that children say in general.
Kids really do the darndest things.
They do.
And they say, like, the stuff they do is so funny.
I like just staring at kids. I'm going to have to work out with kids because I treat them like they're adults, kind of. Like, I don't do like the baby talk. I've never been one to do that. I'm like, you're a tiny person is what you really are.
We never really did the baby talk either with our daughter. We just kind of like, you know, because even though she's a baby, she understands you. So if you talk jibber jabber, she's going to start talking jibber jabber too.
You know, there's been, because when I was in school, I was studying psychology and theater. And so the psychology part of me was like, I could create this child to think like green is blue or like just all these crazy things. And part of me is like, that would be so interesting, but so unethical and so horrible. And I'd be in jail or something.
You totally could, though. And the baby wouldn't know any different.
Exactly.
You know?
Like they're a sponge and they just absorb
Exactly.
everything. So I mean, on one side, though, that's good. Like if you feel everybody thinks their values and morals and beliefs are positive. So then you're raising an army of things. What do you feel about, okay, I think their name's the Duggars or something. Like they had the 19 and counting,
Yes.
like 19 kids, like, oh my goodness. Like I can't even, like she's been pregnant for most of her life, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, at least half of her life.
Like,
More than half.
that just,
I love them. I
crazy.
think
It's like
they
an
are
army.
so cool. It is an army, like 20 kids. It's huge. It's like a school. It's so ridiculous.
And now they're starting to have grandchildren because I think like
oh
the
yeah,
oldest
the oldest had, or
Yeah.
not the one of the sons had like 2. I don't watch it anymore, but I've seen a few episodes.
I've watched
I
it a
think
few
it's
times.
I think it's cool, and you know they raise their kids in a church environment. But I think for the most part, their kids are, well behaved. It's not like they're just running amok.
Like Honey Boo Boo, Chow, have you seen?
No.
Oh my goodness, you need to. I don't suggest watching it. You will lose some brain things in your brain, I think. But it's just this. It's the beauty pageant things like toddlers and tiaras.
Oh my gosh, that makes me want to punch the TV.
It's this Southern. She's a little chunker girl, blonde. And they ended up getting a spinoff of their own show, Honey Boo Boo Child.
Oh
like
my
she drinks go-go
gosh.
juice, which is, I believe, Mountain Dew, maybe a little Red Bull, and some orange juice. And like before
How
she
old
does
is she?
it,
Like
she's 7, I believe.
Red Bull?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So, we have another caller, hopefully to answer. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. You're on Mama Bear Shares. What's your name?
Sharon.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you for calling in. Did you want to answer our question of the day?
How do I feel about diapers?
Yes, like cloth diapers, regular diapers, the expensive diapers, which brand?
Well, I have 2 children, and I found after using a couple of different brands that I wound up sticking with Huggies because for some reason, growing up, everyone always said Pampers, 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 and I tried Pampers, and they always leaked. I don't know why, but with my kids, they always leaked. Huggies never gave me a problem.
Aww.
And with the cloth diapers, I bought them all the time because I used them as burp rags, and they were perfect.
Nice.
Did you ever try using them as actual the diapers or just for burp rags?
What? No, I never actually used the burp, cloth diaper on the child because that would just be a 1920s mess right there. Okay?
It's not for everyone.
That's so funny.
You
I've
want
heard that.
disposable.
I've heard that a lot, though. Actually, how diapers leak. People have a lot of trouble with that, especially at nighttime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants a leaky
I don't
diaper.
know, but it also depends on how often the parent is checking on the child,
Right. Yeah.
to see if it's. I mean, I've babysat nieces and nephews throughout the years, and right away, just by either looking at it or feeling it, I could tell if they went once or more than.
Yeah, for sure. That happens
right
a lot.
away. You go to change them, and sometimes you look at them like, "Wow, you're loaded. Someone should have changed you 5 times ago."
Sometimes, right after you change a baby, they go because when you take the diaper off, they feel the breeze, and instinctively they think that's time to go.
Yes,
and
that
then
happened with my son, and I love him for it because he peed on my sister.
Nice. I'm waiting for that to happen
You
to me.
You gotta put a little washcloth over that part.
Right,
because
yeah.
as soon as the air hits it,
They make those little cone thingies that are made of cotton, and you just pop them right on it.
ooh, that's new.
Yeah.
See, my kid's 14. They didn't have that.
They didn't have that then.
When he was that age, when I was going through that,
Funny.
we just cupped our hands and went and hoped for the best.
There you go. That's all you can do.
Do you have any advice that you can give other than the diaper thing?
Duck.
Duck.
Well, because once I took the diaper off, I forgot to cover it, and he hit the wall.
Oh
And
my
it's like a little
goodness.
fire hose. It just goes everywhere.
I've heard that though a lot with
Oh.
boys that you have a lot more. I mean, obviously you have more issues because
Mhm.
the anatomy is a little different, but that just a lot of people peed in the face, pee in their
Mhm.
just crazy stories that from changing
Yeah,
diapers for a
I'm
boy.
glad that he just did it to my sister, not me.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Hi.
Hello,
Hello. This is Mama Bear Shares. What's your name?
this is Robin, and I just wanted to call it. I was just referred to your show. I think it's phenomenal for young mothers, and I think this is something that can be really, really excellent for girls around the nation.
Oh,
I
thank
have a
you.
19-year-old son. I'm not sure. I've heard a little bit about your topic today. I just tuned in about diapers. I agree with the Huggies thing. I raised some of them. They were great. I don't know what you guys are discussing today, but I think it's great, and I will do everything I can to get the word out and on Facebook. I think
Oh,
it's young mothers have the hardest job in the world.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. What's your topic today?
Topic, it's kind of been a little bit of a mixture of everything. We have Kim on who has her own website, Crunchy Kim, with recipes, but we've kind of stayed on diapers a little bit. We had a question of the day for diapers, so people have been calling in talking about cloth diapers or which diapers are their favorite, and so things like that.
Well, I can give you a little insight.
Please do.
Pretty soon you're gonna have your. I own a business. I own a packaging business, and in the next 6 months you're gonna see diapers skyrocket.
Oh, wow.
That is because the resin that is used to make diapers has the company in Japan blew up. So
Wow.
you're going to see everybody going back to cloth diapers, okay? And because everybody is in this go green sustainability,
Yeah, I think that's the main
you're going
thing
to
too
see
with cloth
you're going to
going
see some
green.
cloth diapers coming back. You're going to get poked in the fingers like we did with pins. We went to plastic diapers because they're more convenient and they were better for other
Actually, a lot of the
holding
cloth
down
diapers,
jobs, raising children. It
a
was
lot
convenient.
a lot of the cloth diapers they make these days don't require pins. They're actually quite convenient. They're kind of just like
Velcro,
disposable.
or they
Yeah,
just...
they have Velcro. Some of
Yeah,
them have
whoever.
snaps.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. I
Yeah.
just thought about it. Whoever invented that, the Velcro.
Yeah.
So I'm just speaking from experience. I think you might see the trend circling back to cloth diapers. I don't know how they wash them now, if they've got Velcro, if the Velcro holds up.
It holds up.
But
Yep.
I think they hold up. Okay, well,
Mhm.
that's good. So you might start seeing a big trend towards cloth diapers. So stock up because your prices are going to skyrocket on diapers, and they're very expensive.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Even
great
as a single
insight.
mother,
Good.
Thank you. So,
even as a single mother, I can tell you that the Huggies were the best, but they were worth the penny because they held it.
that's what I've
There's
heard.
a lot of, and the kids didn't drip, and their clothes didn't get full of,
Nasty, awesome, fun
and
stuff.
and the best thing that you can remember as a mother, for any mother that's listening out there, is just love your children. Everything else falls to place. I worried for 18 years about raising a child. As long as you can provide roof and food and clothes and love, you're okay.
And
Aw.
love.
And that's all you have to worry about. You
There
don't
you
have
go.
to worry about what the researchers tell you, what the news tells you, what everybody's opinions are. You got to do what works for you. And everybody finds their own way. And that's the hardest thing for a new mother. They're scared. I was scared to death.
Mhm.
Someone put this bundle of joy in my arms and said, you have to raise this for 18 years.
Mhm.
And it doesn't stop after 18 years.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
for the rest of your life.
I mean,
My son is 19.
mhm.
And
22.
every day and every minute, I worry.
Mhm. I was talking to my
You
dad.
know.
Yeah, I was talking to my father, and he's like, raising a kid it's a lot of work. I'm like, I know, Dad, you're still raising me, kind of like. I was like, I understand that.
Parents
So,
raise their children till the day they die
Mhm.
and then into eternity. And the other thing that people don't realize is they argue over children.
Mhm.
And they use children as a weapon, divorces, marriages, this,
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
the
but once
worst.
you have a child together, it's forever. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter what you think, it's forever. It
absolutely.
doesn't stop. sorry, that's why they say blood is thicker than water. You are tied to that person forever.
Forever.
It doesn't matter.
Sandlot.
And I said, oh, when my son's 18, I no longer have to deal with his dad. Oops. No, it is forever, because you have that bond between you. That child is forever. And people think you can just take a child and bring it to the pound like a dog. It's forever.
Oh.
You're responsible forever. You chose to bring that child in this world. It's your responsibility forever. And people forget that.
Absolutely.
They think that, so I mean, I think it's great. I know you guys are going to have a lot of advice out there. I think it's great that mothers are talking to one another. I think the internet, this is a great thing. I wish you guys the best. I'll be out here marketing and putting you all over Facebook and all over the place, tweeting you. So I'll get the information from Mr. Nolan Ray.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
This is under. You're welcome. I wish you guys the best. I think it's great. I don't want to talk too much, but I'm going to ask Mr. Nolan Ray how I can tweet you, how I can Facebook you, and put you guys out there to the rest of the mothers in the nation.
Definitely.
And
thank you so much.
Tell everybody to pass it on.
Yeah, pass on the word.
Email everybody, Facebook everybody, LinkedIn everybody, so that you can have all the mothers talking to one another. I think it's great. It's the biggest support network in the world now, what you guys are doing for all the mothers.
Thank
so good luck
you.
to you. God bless.
Thank you so much.
Day.
You too.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good luck, girls.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I think that's so important what she was saying about, when you have a baby, they basically, pass you a baby in your arms and you're like, oh my gosh. And I think that one of the things is you're like overwhelmed a bit, but a lot of you, the mother, what's that called? The mother's insight or intuition. Yeah. That plays a huge part because a lot of times, like she was saying, listening to statistics and reading things online, like, yeah, maybe that worked for some mom, but it might not work for you. You have to do what's best for you.
Yeah, everything on your own, like figure out things yourself. That's
right.
I mean, just like the old wise tale, don't judge a book by its, not necessarily judge a book by its cover, but don't judge someone until you know, like off other people's opinions. Like you need to learn it yourself and figure out what works for you. So
you're still gonna judge moms either way. When you see a child screaming, throwing a tantrum in the supermarket or whatever, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what a bad mother. And then when your child does it, you're like, oh, I get it. I'm not a bad mom. I promise. She just wanted a cookie.
Oh, that's crazy. I've heard with obviously I've heard everything I've heard because I'm not even a new mother yet. Well, I guess you could consider me a mother right now. Yeah. But the whole like different cries mean different things. Like, do you pick? Was it easy for you to pick up like on the cries?
It was hard for me. My daughter, she cried a lot, but you can. It took me a couple months to really lay it down. But there's definitely different cries. You can definitely differentiate them for what they want.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I was like, I'll have to get my ears and hopefully be like, hold it up and be like, I don't know what you want.
Are you hungry?
Like mother's intuition, which is funny because then I used to think my mother had superpowers because I don't and she tricked me once thinking that she did and I was like, you're retarded.
That's awesome.
It was funny. But because she would one example, I was in high school, I was doing something I probably shouldn't have been doing at all. And it was like 2:30 in the morning and she calls me. So obviously I have to pretend that I'm asleep and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, Mom, I've been sleeping. She's like, I just had a feeling, and I just woke up and had to call you.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Go back to sleep. And I got off the phone. I was like, my mom is psychic. Like, I don't know if that was mother's intuition or just her cool knowing me or something.
Yeah.
I was kind of that child growing up. I will admit that.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Growing up in town of 200. So I could talk about that another day. 21 people my whole life in the same class. So, but thank you. We have about 5 minutes left on the show, and I just want to thank Kim so much for being on here.
It was a pleasure.
Don't forget to visit her website, crunchykim.com. I'm not kidding. I have gone through everything. I'm going to start writing and create those things if I can because, time on my hands. So, and I love cooking. But it's such a good idea because, making books or having grandma's recipes or something. But the internet is so amazing for everything.
Everything is on the internet these days.
And it's going to be there. If you obviously have a website, you're paying for it, but it'll be there forever and you can just always refer back to it. So, and you do, and those photos on your website are everything that you've created, correct?
Yep, that's all my kitchen.
You take the photos.
Yeah, I take the photos.
Get into photography next.
Yeah.
Some of them are really good photos, though.
Well, thank you. I think I just have a really nice camera, so it just does the work for me.
What kind of camera do you have?
It's a Canon.
Canon's the best. That's what I've heard.
EOS
I've heard.
20.
I
Yeah.
have a friend who's in art school, and
We love Canon.
Canon is what she said is the top
Mhm.
of the line. And I have this old one from high school that I thought took great photos till I saw new cameras, and I'm like, oh my goodness, my
Yeah.
photos suck. So I'm gonna have to get a new camera.
I used to think I had like the coolest camera, and it was like some crappy little. I think it was still a Canon, but it was like some garbagey little. And I was like, oh my gosh! When I got a real like professional camera, I was like, wow, this is
It's a whole new world.
Doesn't
in
hold
there.
a candle to it. Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for coming on.
Sure.
And again, you can find us on Facebook, MommaBearShares.com. Twitter is going to be coming up soon. It'll be called Mama Bear Shares. Twitter. I don't know what this is like at Twitter.
Twitter. I don't know either.
I'm on Twitter, but that doesn't mean I know everything about it. And so, thank you guys for listening and bear with me. Haha, Mama Bear. Thought that was funny. But with the first show, and we hope to have lots of fun topics coming up. So tune in on Sundays, 3 to 4. So thank you again, guys.
Yay!
Kind of love that won't fade no time soon. Mama got it all paid, this is true. And you always did it on your own. And because of you I have grown. Because of you